All right, I'm back again for the third time. For the third time, I'm back, and let's see what we can do here. I don't know. Um, my computer is just not cooperating today. I do apologize for that, but I guess that's what happens when you're in the jungle. I just don't know. I don't know why I'm having so many problems, but I do want to show you all what Queen of Karma has done. Uh, I'll show you what Queen of Karma has done. She did a really good job writing up this whole article, um, and here it is. Here's the article here that she did, and I'm gonna go ahead and just read a little bit of it. It says, "Yeah, I hope everything's good on my side too, man. Thanks for the words, kind words, thanks for the kind words." So it says, "There are moments when the world feels slightly off its axis, when something so contradictory appears in a space meant for justice that it forces you to stop and ask whether anyone is actually awake at the wheel. Seeing ISKCON, the Hare Krishna movement, advertised as a speaker on women's safety and leadership at a UN event was one of those moments. A high control religious organization with a documented history of misogyny, child marriage endorsement, and systemic abuse was being welcomed into a UN adjacent women's rights forum as if it were a legitimate feminist voice. The cognitive dissonance is staggering, but the danger is real." So I gotta give her another, I really gotta hand it to her, um, for being an advocate for all of us ex devotees. I mean, she really goes out of her way to advocate for us, advocate for my channel, um, to participate, to interview. This is like the third or fourth time that she has. This is like the third or fourth time she's written something, posted something regarding the Hare Krishna cult. So so it's really great to see another creator working with us and working uh, for the same goal, to expose this cult. And here you can see she's got, United Nations. You got Prabhupada there. It's a long article, and of course there she mentions my channel and me, and that was nice. That was nice of her to do that. So I just want to give her, I want to give her props. I want to just say, keep up the good work. It's really great. And if you guys aren't over there, uh, uh, oh, I guess maybe she does have. I guess maybe she does have an article up. I didn't check. But she's got a link here. Uh, so maybe she does have. Let me see. Yes, she does. So she has a whole article on this webpage uh, about the Hare Krishnas at the UN. So look at there. She did a really good job. I haven't seen this whole article here, but like I said, this is like the third or fourth uh, article or video that she's done. So great job to her for doing this. She's got things about what Prabhupada actually taught. And then last night, during the live last night, she made a couple comments about that she's reading these conversations and she's reading up on the Hare Krishna cult. So it's really great to see someone, a cult expert, uh, taking the time to investigate the Hare Krishna cult. So hats off to Queen of Karma. Cheerio, yay! Big hand to Queen. Um, yes, amazing, amazing. I think it's great. And here I'll give you the link. I'll give you the link. I'll put the link right here. there's the link. So that's good news. I mean, that's really great. I hope it'll bring traffic to this channel, and more people can know about what we're all doing here. I think it's great. We're all getting together, and I think it's really inspiring, and it's helpful for those that are in the cult that want to get out and that have nowhere to go, no support system or anything, and we're here, and we're here regularly. So I want to try to do this all the time, so that people can find us, and not have to wait and wonder where I am, or where we are. So yeah, I mean, you read these, and there's so much. There's so much. I mean, there is so much. If you just type in women or equal rights in the database, you're going to get all these results. It takes time to read through all that stuff. It takes a lot of time. And okay, so there's that. That's really inspiring, and that's just a great job. Whoever's responsible in the UN should be fired in this day and age. Well, I think it has to do with Tulsi Gabbard. I think it has to, just like Scientology, they safe point. They work their way up, and they get in there. But I agree. It blows my mind. It's just like Queen of Karma. It's just like, it's one of those what the fuck moments. Like, Hare Krishnas at the UN with their racism and sexism and child marriage and all that. I mean, it just blows your mind. It just blows your mind. Okay. So all you new viewers out there, whether you're from Gora Hari's place or ISKCON, you find me from like a cult awareness type group, or you find me from I don't know, Reddit or wherever. I'm a cult expert, but this isn't like a real scholarly type activity here. We have fun here. We laugh and joke, and we just we have a good time. That's what we do here. So it's not like taking a class or something. It's more like hanging out and having a good time. And
just what is it that you want to do?
Well, we want to be free. We want to be free to do what we want to do. We want to be free to ride, and we want to be free to ride our machines without being hassled by the man. And we want to get loaded, and we want to have a good time. And that's what we're going to do.
That's what we're going to do.
We're going to have a good time.
We're going to have a good time.
We're going to have a party.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time. So, yeah, so I don't know how ISKCON keeps weaseling their way into the UN, but I think it has something to do with Tulsi Gabbard. I don't know. So, okay, I want to get back. So earlier I was talking about this Gora Hari guy being a cult member. A cult leader. He doesn't realize he's a cult leader. He just thinks he's under the impression that he's in this 5,000-year-old tradition, because he keeps, when he's talking to me in his video, it's that same cult mentality that we're in Maya. The illusory energy is covering us. It's Kali Yuga. It's not that we woke up and realized we were in a cult and now we're out of the cult. No, it's that we're in Maya and we're in illusion, and we're disconnected from the parampara and the sampradaya, and we're not surrendered, and all that cult bullshit. That's what it is. It's so he doesn't understand he's a cult. He has no clue. He's as oblivious to the fact that he's a cult leader and he's in a cult as his followers are oblivious that he's a cult leader and they're in a cult. As just as oblivious as all the gurus, Bhakti Vikash and Indra Yumna and all of that and all these other knuckleheads. They're just oblivious. It's like telling fish to look at the water. They can't see it. They can't see it. So, since I know he watches, I know he watches, and he's probably been watching for a while. But I know he watches because I live rent free in his head. So, but for all of you people out there that are watching, this is about cults. We're not debating philosophy. We're not debating, any of this Guru Tattva or Achincha Beta Beta Tattva or, Mahabhava or Madhurya Ras or Sankhya Ras or any of that. We're not here to debate. We're not debating that. I'm not debating that shit. I'm not talking about that shit. There's no need to talk about that shit. Like my dad said, what difference does it make? What difference does it make? Okay, so this is a good one. This is the best cult expert out there, a knitting cult lady, and this is from the Culting of America, and this is a good one. Of course, I'm going to interrupt her a lot, but yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what I could do about that. Hey, Ann, great, glad you made it over here. Here we go. Here we go with some rocket science gone wrong. Now here we go with some knitting cult lady.
Hey y'all, today for Devotions with Daniela, we are reading The Culting of America, the second book of Daniela. This is a brief history of cults in the U.S. Cults are deeply rooted in American culture. From the moment Europeans set foot on this land, they were forming high-control separatist groups. The Pilgrims and Puritans fled religious persecution, only to turn around and enforce their own brand of rigid, exclusionary doctrine. The early U.S. became a breeding ground for groups with a strong us versus them mentality, each convinced they had the real truth and that the rest of the world was doomed, wrong, or both. Tara Isabella Burton's Strange Rites, New Religions for a Godless World profiles many of the United States' modern alternative spiritual movements, but it also offers a compelling historical overview of the nation's distinctive religious evolution. Framed within the broader context of the traditionally recognized Great Awakenings, the 1730s and 1740s saw what some historians refer to as the First Great Awakening, when evangelical Christianity...
So you got to remember, right? Like I was saying, like I said before, this guru worship, this Bhagavatam and this the Bhagavatam and these Vedas and the Bhagavad Gita and all of these scriptures, all of these scriptures where they use this brainwashing and mind control and these cult tactics. It's been going on hundreds of years. Hundreds of years that they've been working that, getting, even with like Buddhists. Buddhists are doing the same thing. They isolate them in a monastery or in a temple. They shave their head and they give them a name. They're all dressed the same, and they're busy working, exploiting their labor. They're all the Buddhist monks in the temple are working around doing all their. It's the same thing. Now that's been going on. It's been going on for in the world, different parts of the world, for hundreds and hundreds of years. So when she's talking about in America and the Puritans and the Pilgrims and the stuff that's going on there, it was already going. They had it perfected. They had it perfected in India, well, all over though. Actually, all of these religions, but this guru worship.
Emotional and fanatical version of Christianity that Americans so love today, where connection to God is defined by altered states and the loss of self. People rejected the rationalism of the Enlightenment Unitarians and deists in favor of emotional preaching and an intense personal experience of the Holy Spirit. By the early 19th century, religious experimentation was everywhere. The evangelical Christian movement spread even further during this second Great Awakening, accompanied by the growth of new denominations like Methodists and Baptists, and a growing number of fringe offshoots such as the egalitarian and celibate, hence their demise, Shaker movement, as well as the polyamorous Oneida community. Yes, that Oneida. Inspired by the revivals of his youth, Joseph Smith claimed to receive divine visions, publishing the Book of Mormon in 1830 and starting the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. While not all these groups were destructive, most shared one core trait, a belief that they were the chosen ones, the enlightened, and everyone else was lost, misguided, or actively working against them. But things really started getting culty with the New Thought metaphysical movements of the early 1900s, which emphasized positive thinking, the power of the mind, and the idea that individuals can shape their reality through spiritual and mental discipline. Principles popularized 100 years later with books like The Secret and concepts like manifesting. Emerging from transcendentalism, the New Thought movement was loosely Christian and encompassed a diverse and highly individualistic hodgepodge of groups and leaders, from the spiritual healing of Christian Science to the occultism of Theosophy, to the channeling and seances of spiritualism, as well as a growing interest in Eastern spiritual traditions. Part of the Third Great Awakening, which also saw the rise of Pentecostalism, Jehovah's Witnesses, and socially minded and activist churches, the New Thought movement laid the groundwork for what we now think of as New Age or alternative spirituality, and perhaps the most quintessentially American contribution to Christianity of all, the prosperity gospel. The prosperity gospel is a decidedly American invention. Heavily influenced by the New Thought movement, it teaches that faith, positive thinking, and financial giving lead to material wealth and success. Rooted in the belief that thoughts shape reality, New Thought introduced ideas like the law of attraction and divine abundance, which were later rebranded in prosperity gospel theology as name it and claim it teachings. This movement also adopted New Thought's emphasis on spiritual healing, suggesting that faith can cure sickness as well as generate financial prosperity. The seed faith doctrine, which promotes giving money to religious leaders in expectation of multiplied blessings, further ties material gain to spiritual devotion.
It's all of this stuff that she's saying is ISKCON. It's all ISKCON. ISKCON fits right in there with all of this.
These ideas gained traction through figures like E.W. Kenyon and Oral Roberts, but modern televangelists such as Joel Osteen and Kenneth Copeland have globalized the message. The prosperity gospel is the height of cognitive dissonance, distorting Christian teachings like humility, self-sacrifice, and the dangers of wealth, reducing faith to a formula for financial success.
It sounds like Hare Krishna. Yeah, she does know. She knows. She really knows. And I don't think she knows. She doesn't know that much about Hare Krishna, I don't think. She never mentions it. But she really knows her stuff. She's really good. And she's a really good knitter, too, I guess. She's a good knitter. Hey, Don, how you doing? Good to see you, man. And yeah, so you can see how Americans are like surrounded by cults, and just it's the cult. That's why her book is called "The Culting of America."
And implying that poverty or illness results from a lack of belief.
And that all that she was just talking about is Hare Krishna. Everything that she's talking about is that she just mentioned: the living in poverty, the sickness, the illness, karma, self-sacrifice.
Poverty or illness results from a lack of belief. Believers in the prosperity gospel conveniently overlook the very clear warnings in the Bible about leaders who exploit religion for personal gain. Instead, they follow preachers who accumulate wealth while promising material blessings to followers, fitting the very description of those St. Paul cautioned against. In contemporary American culture, prosperity theology fuels megachurches and televangelism. Preachers get rich while burdening followers with unrealistic promises of wealth in exchange for faith and financial contributions.
And it's no different than these gurus. It's no different than from these gurus who are traveling around, going here and there, guru paloozing all over. You got Diary of a Traveling Monk, The Walking Monk. They're just on a permanent vacation on somebody else's dime, walking around blessing everybody and getting their feet washed. You know, that's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. And they live all high on high on the hog. They have everything. I mean, every time we watch a video of these gurus, they're being worshipped, flowers are being thrown at them, garlands put on their neck, just prayers. They're getting their feet washed. They're getting presents. Everyone's cheering, and that's their life. That's all they do. What else do they do? Meanwhile, all their disciples have got jobs. They're working hard, trying to donate money, trying to do this and do that. It's freaking bullshit. That's why it's such a scam.
While the first and second Great Awakenings are widely recognized by historians, the third, and particularly the fourth, are less universally accepted and remain subjects of debate. The Fourth Great Awakening typically refers to a period of social and cultural upheaval in the U.S. during the late 1960s through the 1970s, which saw the rise of fringe new religious movements at the same time that evangelical Christianity was regaining influence, which shaped political realignments and sparked debates over what economic historian Robert Fogel described as spiritual inequality. This period also marked the beginning of what we now think of as culture wars and the religious right. When it comes to cults, this is usually the era most people think of, when disillusioned young people, like my grandparents, sought meaning outside mainstream society, which led to the rise of high control groups. Charles Manson convinced his followers they were soldiers in an impending apocalyptic race war he termed Helter Skelter. The Children of God rebranded Christianity with a focus on love and salvation. But their practices included exploitation and abuse. Synanon began as a well-meaning drug rehab program, but spiraled into a violent and authoritarian empire, leaving a lasting impact on 12-step and other recovery communities that can be felt to this day. Despite many high-profile exposés of its abuses, Scientology, blending self-help, pseudoscience, and religious doctrines involving past lives and extraterrestrial influences, continues to maintain a stronghold in Hollywood. These groups thrived by offering members a distinct identity, us.
So I don't know why. I just don't know why she hits all of these cults and she just stops before she gets to Hare Krishna. She's got everybody in there. She's got Scientology. She's got, her cult, the Children of God, Mormons, everything. and it's a high control group, and they do all things, but she just they fly right under her radar. She just doesn't. If she knows about them, she just never mentions them, and I don't know why. I don't know why.
Compelling cause and a clear enemy, them. Be it the government, societal systems, or outsiders perceived as unenlightened. The 1980s and 90s saw the rise and fall of high control groups like Osho's Rajanesh movement, which built a compound in Oregon and gained notoriety for a bioterror attack on the local community, and which still operates meditation centers in over 80 countries. No one can forget Heaven's Gate, a group that took the whole us versus them thing to the extreme, rejecting the material world and embracing death as escape. Around the same time, the Branch Davidians, a splinter group of the Seventh-day Adventists led by David Koresh, engaged in a 51-day standoff with federal agents in Waco, Texas, that ended in a fire that killed 76 people. Cults of this time also adopted new packaging, self-help, corporate training, and wellness movements wrapped in a thin veneer of empowerment. But underneath was the same old control, coercion, and strict division between insiders and outsiders. In today's world, cults haven't vanished. They've simply adapted to modern platforms and methods. Social media transformed conspiracy movements like QAnon into global phenomena by convincing followers that they alone possess the truth and everyone else is deceived. In 2025, QAnon may be no more, but it doesn't need to be. Its conspiracy theories and us versus them mentality are thoroughly entrenched in mainstream culture and politics.
Yeah, I don't know why. She's got it down with the Osho, Rajneesh. She's got it down with the 60s and all. I mean, she knows her stuff. She knows Hare Krishna is a cult. She knows it's a cult. But it's not like she's knitting cult lady and she studies all these cults, but somehow she missed ISKCON. Like she missed that one. So, but for some reason she never mentions it. I guess maybe because she feels like it's too obscure or it's not important, or I don't know. I would love to ask her. I would love to say, why do you never mention ISKCON when you bring? I mean, if you're talking about Scientology and these other and Osho and Maharishi and all these other ones, I just don't know why. I don't get it. Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I'll go on one of her. Maybe she's afraid of the Yamadutas. That's funny. Hare Krishna is a very different language, and there's not much information about it. All content is from ex-cult members. Yeah, I mean that's true. That is true. That's why. That's why I feel like what I'm doing. I like what I'm doing because I feel like I'm talking to us ex devotees, but also to never ends. Never ends as well. But the thing, what I'm saying is you don't get to be knitting cult lady. You don't get to be knitting cult lady, write 2 books, go to Harvard, know all about all these different cults. I mean, it's not like she doesn't know about Mormons and Jehovah's Witness and some of these obscure cults and all these things that she studied. You don't become knitting cult lady and like just completely skip over Hare Krishna. I just think I don't know. I guess I think it has to do with she doesn't feel it's important to mention. Like these other ones are more important to mention. I mean, Hare Krishna was a main cult, the main cult of the 60s. I mean, if you look at you watch any documentary about the 1960s and the hippies and the Summer of Love and and San Francisco and flowers in your hair and all, you're gonna see Hare Krishnas. You're gonna see them. They're gonna be in there. Yeah. You're gonna see them. I mean, they're in the movie Airplane. They're on in Living Color, in Scrubs. They are the ultimate cult, goofy cult with the shaved heads and the robes. I mean, in the Cheech and Chong movie, they're in there. They're in the big finale of the Cheech and Chong, Up in Smoke. They dress up like Hare Krishnas and they go in there to bust them. Um, it's they have their place in American cult, contemporary culture. So why doesn't she mention them? I just find I'm not criticizing her. It's just a question. I just wonder. I was like, she does she doesn't know many victims, or like I said, she has to have studied them and know. Uh, Anyone know how to fix live chat? Like for me, your messages are appearing slowly. I'm not sure why. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't know. Yeah, she's a former. She was a captain intelligence. She was intelligence officer. Yeah. Yeah, right. The only difference is Tulsi Gabbard is still in a cult and is garbage, and Knitting Cult Lady is she's she's a hero. Yeah, she's really good. So so that was the history of cults, going all the way back. I mean, you really get an idea that she knows what she's talking about. It's not like she's not like me. She's not like me. She really knows. She studied. She actually studied. Um, Not that I don't study. I do study. Okay, so here's another really good one from her, and this is it. So all of you people out there, hey, yeah, maybe I should go on her. Maybe she'll have me on, and I can talk. I can educate her. I can educate her about Gora Hari. I'll be, hey, do you know this guy? Hey, you ever seen this guy? This guy? That's funny. I'll be like, hey, do you ever seen this Gora Hari and this hot lips? What do you think about that? Yeah, um setting knitting queen's report on ISKCON. Yeah, I mean, I know I'm positive. I'm 100% positive that she's going to say, "Yeah, I'm aware of the Hare Krishnas." I'm just curious as to why she doesn't mention them and she doesn't talk about them more. That's all. I just uh, um I would definitely do a show with her. I would definitely do a show with her and tell her about the Hare Krishnas. Um okay, let's check out a little bit more from her.
Today in my deconstruction workbook, talking about the mission. This is the workbook that we made to accompany my new book, The Culting of America, which was my Bad Guys Tactics books. Cults don't give you a religion, they give you a worldview. And when we are in cults or high control groups, we can put on certain identities. But also, when we grew up as cult babies, one of the things that happened is we didn't get to form our own identities, which is something I've had to realize in my own journey. And I talked about earlier how I had to have an anti mission statement because I grew up so addicted to being always told we had a mission. Here's the Republican dog, puppy tax. So the question today is, describe how pursuing your own goals has positively impacted your life. In 2017, I decided I was not going to try to get another corporate job, but I was going to try to figure out what I wanted to be when I grew up, which was a long way of turning into Knitting Cult Lady. It was especially important to me after Donald Trump was elected because I felt I had an important perspective on what was happening in the country. So I didn't ask anyone for permission. I just went on an 8-year journey of building my own identity outside of a high control group, getting a master's degree and writing 2 books, my memoir, Growing Up in a Cult and then Going into the Cult of the U.S. Army, and The Culting of America, my cults tactics book, both of which you can get here or on audio. And now I get to do what I love. I always say, I don't know what my mom is more impressed about, that I have a master's degree from Harvard for free, or that I make my living knitting and reading books and talking to the internet. But I do feel very perfectly placed to help narrate our march toward dictatorship and to be what I've decided to be, which is the intelligence officer for America. And that's the ode to personal journeys that we go on. I'm so glad that I don't have to work corporate jobs anymore. You can get Unculture Yourself, the workbook, attached here.
So I understand what she's saying. Eh, she put it into really good words, and I know all of us that have left ISKCON or left our guru or whatever, our service, however you want to say it, feels the same way. You got to get your own identity back, because they take your identity away from you and they give you this Krishna identity with a new name and a new look and a new everything. And when you leave, that's kind of the culture shock. That's part of the exit cost, is that you're giving up everything, and when you leave, you've got nothing. And that's why a lot of people stay, because they know that if they leave, they got nothing. And at least it's similar. It's similar if you think about it. It's very similar to people who are in jail, and that's their life in jail. They have a life in jail, and they get out of jail, and they don't know how to function in the real world. They don't know how to have a job. They don't know how to get a job, have responsibilities, make decisions, have to deal with the consequences of their decisions. So they end up going back to jail. And then once they're back in jail, they're like, hey, they got someone telling them what to do. Hey, go eat, go shit, go outside, come back in, get in your cell, go out to the yard, go eat, go to, and then they're like, hey, it's that kind of mentality almost, where they're in this cult and they're being told what, and they're just like, okay, I can't like my roommate Vadiraj. I mean, what's he gonna do? The guy's 60 years old, driving a taxi, never had a job because he's a Hare Krishna his whole life. Now he's he didn't realize when he joined, he didn't realize, Prabhupada was going to die and these gurus were going to take over, and then all this shit was going to go south. And then once that happened, now what are you going to do? You weren't planning on that. Now you're driving a taxi. Now you're living around the corner from the temple in an apartment, roommates. You're 60 years old, driving a taxi. You got no nothing. No life, no identity. You're nobody. You're William Scott, which is nothing, because that's nobody. But while you're in the movement, you're Vadiraj. You're Vadiraj Das, disciple of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti. It's it. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't turned anything on, and I don't know that anything is turned on, so I can't tell you why it's like that. But you're absolutely right. Being harassed by the GBC and ISKCON is not a joke. It is not a joke. And just being harassed by devotees, you get some wacko devotees. Like, there could be some wacko Gauri Hari disciples. They get pissed off that we're making fun of him and hot lips and whatever, and they don't like it, and they get violent. I'm gonna track that guy down. I'm gonna hurt him because I said something about a grown man. I said something about their Guru Dave. That's how fucking stupid that shit is. To the point where they put a couple bullets in a guy's head in a van on Canfield Avenue because they don't like what he's saying about some guru, some grown man, That's mafia shit. You say something bad about a mafia guy, then they go and they'll whack you. You disrespected the Godfather. You disrespected the guy. You can't disrespect Tony Soprano. They'll take you in the back and they'll whack you. That's not what holy people do. At least they're not supposed to do. That's not what they're supposed to do. They stole so much and gave us nothing good in return. They gave us nothing good in return. They gave us trauma. They gave us trauma in return. I gave them the best years of my life. I was 30 years old. I was ready to do anything. I was going to go to work. You know, I was looking to go to work in television. You know, like, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to work in television, work, I don't know, as a stage hand, something, get my foot in the door. I was 30 years old. Be a cameraman or an audio guy or a director or what I wanted to do something in television. I got into this cult. Fuck that. I worked for ITV subtitling Prabhupada lectures and duplicating Hindi movies. I did that for a couple years. And it. You know, and then when I get out, I'm 50 years old. I'm staring down, I'm gonna retire. What am I going? I'm trying to get my foot in the door at 55 years old at HBO or something. It's too old. I mean, it happens. I'm not saying it can't happen, but I mean, you know, it's tough enough. It's tough enough to try to get started when you're 50, 55. You get started when you get out of college. That's when you get started, not when you're 55. Yeah, they're all these people are frauds and scammers. All of them. Yeah, it's kind of injected into a massive dosage of fear. Fear that if you leave, you're gonna bloop. If you bloop, you're gonna go into that degraded. You go into that degraded friggin' material life of drugs and women, naked women and drugs and gambling and just horrible. You know, they want you to think like as soon as you walk away from the, you know, if you quit, walk away from the temple, you're gonna go right to Skid Row. Right to Skid Row. You'll be drinking like Sarva. You'll be drunk all the time. Women all. It sounds pretty good. Drunk all the time. Women everywhere. You know, gambling and getting intoxicated. It sounds like a plan, but they make it sound like it's. And devotees fear that. They fear it. Hey, good luck. Good luck. Okay. Don't get too much laughing gas. I was in the various Mahayana and Rajyana Tibetan Buddhist cults and sects too. And boy, was it the same as ISKCON and Gaudiya Math. And every single goddamn year we see new spiritual leaders. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got that shit down. I mean, they've had thousands of years to work on how do we brainwash these people. But it's been like that with, you know, all over. But I think this guru worshiping, the washing of the feet, I mean, they really take it pretty far. They take it pretty far with that stuff, you know. It's all of these guys. Because you don't need any of them. They're not getting knowledge from somewhere. They're not getting knowledge from somewhere. It's not descending in, you know, and so that right there, just cut it with that. I mean, you know, when I came to that conclusion, you know, like we're all on this planet and there's no books falling from the sky. There's no books falling from the sky. All these books and all this crap came from right here. This is just it. And that's me, because I know that these books are not falling from outer space. That's not happening. Okay, so we did that knitting cult lady, and I think we got one more. One more. Here we go. Let's see this one. Because you guys, you viewers out there, you got to learn you're in a cult. You got to learn you're in a cult. That's the most important thing. You can't move on. We can't move on. We can't progress until you realize that ISKCON and this Gaudiya Math and this Gaudiya Vaishnavism, this is a cult.
The Children of God cult. I would be turning 16 in 6 months, a full adult in the eyes of the family. To most of us teenagers, that meant two things. We could have sex and we could vote. Since the charter, voting had become a big deal in our homes. We called a home vote to decide every aspect of our lives. At least with the ability to vote, I felt like I might have a say. And sex? Well, we just wouldn't have to hide it from the world anymore. To me, 16 meant I could move to a different commune, away from my family. We had already left for a different commune in Leon some months before, away from Uncle Jose, the man who had assaulted me. But that wasn't good enough. I wanted to go back to America. I'd been begging my mom to let me move ever since I had turned 14, but she said I was too young. At 16, the prophecy said we were grown-ups, capable of making our own decisions. After hearing directly from the Lord, of course. I knew I could find a commune in San Diego willing to take me back. I also knew I needed to get away soon. To prepare for adulthood, we spent a whole year with additional special readings and devotions, like our regular indoctrination on steroids. A boy at our new commune named Lucas would also be turning 16 soon, and there was an entire year's worth of readings that we had to finish before we'd be qualified as voting members or be allowed to openly have sex with our peers under the age of 21. Of course, we were all having sex anyway. It was what we were raised to do. In mine and Lucas's case, with each other, and it would be nice to be able to do it without hiding or having to worry about being caught. I'd already been through what happened if we got caught breaking the rules. Months of additional study, loss of weekly movie privileges, no fellowship with anyone my age or from other communes, plenty of additional duties, hard labor.
I didn't grow up in the ashram, but goddamn it, that sounds like ashram. That sounds like the woman's ashram. All right, Duke, take it easy. Yeah, it's a life gobbling cult. And that's the thing, Don, is those 20 years just went by so fast. They go by fast anyway, but it really seem to go by fast when you're in this fucking mind-numbing cult. It was, when I woke up and I realized that I wanted to get out, and I didn't even realize that I was 50. I didn't realize it's 20 years, 50. I mean, I knew, but it didn't dawn on me. It didn't dawn on me, Don. And then it did. I was like, what? I almost can't even put it into words. Yeah, it's easy to do. It's not hard to do. But everything that she's saying sounds like ISKCON. It sounds like a girl's life in the ashram, just from what I hear from these women that grew up in it and ended up getting married at 12 or 13 or whatever, getting raped and getting abused, and it's the same story.
Whatever else the adults in the home decided. Then one day, Lucas's younger sister, Faith, came home from a visit to Uncle Jose's commune, only 20 minutes away. I thought I had put that whole experience behind me, determined that nobody would ever know. Except for Mariana and Tabitha. They'd seen it in my eyes, like I'd seen it in Tabitha's. An unspoken understanding. The worst kind of sisterhood. But Faith told Lucas what Uncle Jose was up to at the commune in Leon, and Mary confirmed it had happened to her too, and then they'd come to me. I'd admitted he'd been known to give very uncomfortable massages, but said I'd been confused as to his intentions, which was why I'd never spoken up. When Faith said he'd tried to forcibly kiss her, Lucas left the room in a huff, while Mary, Faith, and I began to discuss what we should do about it. It was the first time I, or any of us, had ever talked about it. The first time I'd ever heard anyone else in the family acknowledge out loud what I always assumed was happening to all of us. In the dark, during punishments, or any time we were unlucky enough to find ourselves alone with one of the creepy uncles. We had a name for them, but we never, ever said what they did. Then Lucas told the adults, and investigations started. It was all against the charter, after all. And this time, the adults had no choice but to respond. At first, I was angry and embarrassed. I wanted to put it all back where it was secret, back where we could pretend it didn't exist. But the girls banded together. We started sharing our stories of things we had all experienced at the hands of Uncle Jose and other uncles in the past. But I would never share the worst, and I suspected they didn't either. I would talk about the creepy touching, but never how terrible the basement punishments really were.
You know, it's just, it's really sad. I mean, it's really sad. Yeah, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. And all these cults are the same. And that's really the point, is all these cults are the same. They exploit labor. They mess up your mind. They fill your mind with a bunch of crap. You know, and I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go back to this Gorahari guy. He's got these people, their minds are full of crap. He's no different than Jim Jones. They're calling him Guru Dave and this and that. And I know he's small potatoes or whatever. You know, he's not a big, you know, he's not like sad guru or anything. But it's just, it's representative of this cult and how this shit fucks up your mind and fucks up his mind. It's got him deluded into thinking that he's some white super Hindu Jesus. Seriously. Well, you guys know, I'm dead serious. But even besides him, even besides that fucker, the harm that these cults do, ISKCON included, with their children, abusing them. Listening to her talk sounds like what happened on Watsika, like what happened in New Vrindavan, all of it in Dallas, all this shit. She's talking about the punishments. She's talking about the abuse, the raping, the touching, just all of that. It's no different. It's no different. And they're stuck in, and these Krishna people, you're stuck in this idea that it's a 5,000-year-old tradition. 5,000-year-old tradition. It's Vedic. It's this. It's based on the Bhagavad Gita. It's based on the Bhagavatam. Prabhupada's a pure tradition. That's all bullshit. It's a cult. Just like Children of God. The Children of God guy was saying the same shit. He's ordained from God, and he's got the message, and he knows the real, and all that same shit. Guys are in a cult. So what if it's a 5,000-year-old tradition and it's Vedic, whatever? It's a 5,000-year-old cult, okay? How about that? Dangerous pedophile cult. And this Gorahari, he's just like Sri Dayananda, too dumb to realize he's in a cult. Went to Harvard. Freaking Sri Dayananda goes to Harvard, can't figure out he's in a cult. Meanwhile, knitting cult lady, she went to Harvard. She figured it out. Who's smart? Who do you think is smarter? Knitting cult lady or Harvard dumbass Goswami? That's not a hard one. I put my money on her any day of the week. You think who you think is smarter? This woman here or Harvard dumbass Goswami? They do terrible harm with no accountability at all. Zero. And the guy that got shot in the van, that guy, the guy that did the shooting, he almost got away. If they weren't so dumb, he would have got away. All he had to do was hop on a plane to India. All he had to do was drive to the LAX, get on a plane, go to India. Never would have heard about it. Never heard of seen him again. No, he was too dumb. He flew back to Ohio, and then he drove to Columbus, and then he went to wherever, and then went to New whatever the fuck he did, and the FBI tracked, and they got him. He couldn't even do that. They weren't even smart enough to do that. I know. I got some new ones, but I've been waiting for the right time to play.
The whole world gone crazy! Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Yeah, you know, you're right about that, Rafael. Cults present themselves as all-knowing, all the aspects of life, yet at the end of the day, it all comes to sex only. It's disgusting. It's clear that repressive desires creates monsters, Inc. Yeah, you know, all cults going to tell you this. They got the secret. What's the secret that ISKCON has? Well, when you die, you go back to the cow planet. You become a 12-year-old girl, and you have sex with God. That's their secret. I know. I do too. I cringe when I remember the Mangal Arti and Guru Puja prayers we sang every single morning. You know, I remember when I first got into going to Mangal Arti early in the morning, going and in Vrindavan. It's really kind of in India, in Vrindavan, Mangal Arti was just so. It seemed like it was so spiritual. You know, it's dark, and you're at Prabhupada's samadhi, and it just seemed like it was such a thing, you know. And now when I think back, I just think, what a waste of time. What a waste of time. What a waste of time. I could have been laying in bed having a cup of coffee or something, you know, and watching a football game or something. Yeah, hey, yeah, she can do it all, man. She can do it all. She's the international woman of fame and fortune, I guess. Absolutely. Okay, so now we're gonna get to. Let's see. Do I have? I have a new opening, but I'm not gonna use it. And you know what? I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use this opening because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to it, but I'm going to use it anyway. So I'm going to pretend this is a new opening because I haven't really seen it yet, and I thought it was fun. I thought it was going to be fun. So let's take a look at this. Let's see where it is. Let me. Okay, here we go. This is a new opening. Let's check it out. All right, so that's the Muppet opening for the the Muppet opening. I don't think Tim sent this video in, but I wanted to play the opening anyway. But I wanted to show this a little bit of this. I don't know if anybody's seen this. What does it say? Rafal. The moment you openly dare to criticize Prabhupada or any ISKCON guru abusers, you'll be drawn on the mafia hit list. We are Rakshasas, the worst among operatis. Yeah. Yeah, and Lalita Ganga, she's calling us demons. We're demons. And Gora Hari was saying that we're demons. Can you imagine that? Like someone who's supposed to be a holy man, who's supposed to be preaching love of God, giving Krishna Prem. Oh, he gives us Krishna Prem. He gives us love of God. And oh, he's so holy that anyone who doesn't believe in what he believes in, he's going to call us, he calls us demons. We're demons. I mean, really, is that the talk of a holy man to call non-believers or people who are not in your cult demons and malechas and curse them to the hellish planets? I mean, is that what a holy person does? They just, you know, you know, that sounds more like brainwashing than love of God. I mean, if you want to teach me about love of God and I tell you, well, I don't believe in your books, don't call me a demon. You should show some compassion. You call me a demon, call me a curse me. Oh, I hope the Yamadutas drag you to the hellish planets and stick a hot poker up your ass and pour molten lead down your throat and gouge your eyes out and make you hug a hot iron statue of all that stuff. Hey, I went to a temple here, and they had all the hellish planets, like you walk around and you get to see all that stuff. It was pretty disgusting. They had all that stuff from the fifth canto. It was a Buddhist temple, but they believe they believe in some of that stuff. Like they kind of incorporate the Hindu and the Buddhism into one kind of weird thing. And this temple had all those hellish planets acted out with beings, and it showed them, and it was pretty graphic. I'm gonna tell you right now, it was graphic. Okay, it was graphic. I'll dig the pictures out one day and I'll show them to you. But is that really a holy man or a holy institution where they're teaching you love of God, and then they're at the same time they're cursing you to die these horrible or go to these horrible hellish places where you're just tortured and eternal damnation. I mean, you posted what? Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, you posted that, and then they told us don't do that no more, and I thought that was funny. Lolita has to demonize us to make herself holy. Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think that's part of it is how can I be holy if you're not you got to be a demon because I'm doing all this holy stuff. I'm the spiritual person, right? I'm the one that is doing all the spiritual. I'm the one that's laughing and giggling and actually, they're not doing anything spiritual, right? Because they don't follow any regular principles. They don't do any, they're not doing any specific thing except laughing and giggling. So just to laugh and giggle, we have to be demons in order for them to laugh and giggle and cry and feel superior. I know the only demons I know are that. The only demons I know are these gurus that are molesting these little kids, molesting these little girls, molesting these little boys, smacking their wives around, guys like Narayana. And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot more Narayans running around than you think there are. Okay, so one thing I noticed is we're not getting a lot of trolls. I guess they're just watching and they don't want to talk. They don't want to say anything because we got a lot of people watching, but they don't want to say anything. But they're learning, and that's good. So now we're gonna get to this video.
Biggest parks in England. It's certainly the biggest parks in Hertfordshire. We're about 20 miles from London. And I'm here for mantra and meditation in the park. And this is a Hare Krishna event. I've filmed the Hare Krishnas before at their manor. And this time they're at the bandstand. Now that is the same place where I filmed Praise in the Park, which is an evangelical event, happens yearly. Spoke to evangelicals. This time I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to speak to Hare Krishnas, if I can stop them from chanting and meditating. I really don't know what to expect or what they're going to say, but it'll certainly be different.
Everyone please.
Black hair, round glasses,
Uh-oh.
lightning bolt scar. Everybody knows what Harry Potter looks like, and this.
Okay, so
who's
this
this
is the mantra and meditation in the park. So your name is?
My name's Sakshi Gopal.
Okay,
Yes.
and so have you been a Krishna all your life, or I'm assuming probably not?
No. I was born in 49. I met the devotees in 72. And
Devotee since 72.
I joined the Hare Krishna movement in 1972.
Okay.
Guys, there's your lifer. That's what you call a lifer. This is 1972 to when was this? Oh, this was 7 years ago, but I know he's still in it. I know he's still in it. 72, there's like 50 something years, 54 years.
And so obviously you've been to the manor there, the Bhakti, I can never pronounce it properly, Bhakti Vedanta.
Bhakti Vedanta.
Vedanta,
Manor.
yes, which of course I went there during the incorporation day for the 50th, which is a great day. I did some filming there then. So I spoke to a couple of people then. So this is to do with the, is it the Veda College of the Vedas, is that right?
There's a Vedic College of Studies.
I know, Jenna. I know. The music is so annoying. The music is so annoying, and I never noticed it before until you said that. The music is so friggin' annoying. There's like this. It sounds like they're killing kittens or something. I don't know.
Yes, that's an ancillary thing.
Yeah.
The overall umbrella is the International Society for Krishna Consciousness.
Okay. Then.
And that was brought to the West, or the mission was brought to the West by Bhaktivedanta Swami in the mid-60s. And he created an international institution called ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. That's his picture there. I'm sure you can get a few pictures during the course of the
that's
afternoon.
Prabhupada.
So this is basically how they preach to you. Like if one of them, if this guy was to see you like in front of Costco or in front of the DMV or in front of wherever, like, you know, Venice Beach or somewhere, and he sees you and he runs up to you, this is what he does. This is basically what he does. Your dentist is a Yamaduda. All right, watch out, man. Watch out for the dog Yamaduda. Watch out. First of all, being interviewed with sunglasses on is highly disrespectful. Yeah, they don't know. What do they know? What do they know? But basically, this is how they get you. He's got his little book. He's ready to preach to this guy. He's like, oh, you know, I got my book here, and this is how they do it. What happened?
That's Prabhupada.
Yes.
Srila Prabhupada. His full name is Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
And some people would be interested in knowing that the manor was actually given to you by one of the Beatles. Is that right?
Yes, it was by George Harrison.
Harrison.
Yes, it was a gift from him. He bought it especially for his devotee friends.
Yes.
This is the total. This is the total pitch. This is the Krishna pitch. All right. This is the pitch that they do when they in the wild. This is a Krishna in the wild. We're getting to see how a Krishna in the wild. This is how they do it. You know, they go, oh, George Harrison, the Beatles. Right? You like the Beatles? You like John Lennon? It's just so, it's so funny.
By the early 70s, George met the devotees in the late 60s. Although, it's interestingly enough, he first came across the Hare Krishna chant on a record that Srila Prabhupada recorded in New York in 1966, 67. And this went out to all the hippie shops, the head shops. A lot of people were buying it, and George got a few copies, and he played it constantly. And that's when he first heard the chanting. Yeah. And him and John used to chant a lot.
And I seem to remember in the Yellow Submarine animated film, there's when they first encounter him in the house, he's listening to some like Hindu music, Hindu chants.
Yes, it's a very stunning image. That
it is.
There's some.
Such nonsense. It's such nonsense. I mean, really. I mean, if your pitch to get someone into your cult is, hey, you ever seen Yellow Submarine with George Harrison? It's just it's just crazy. It's crazy. Your dad might know this guy. That's Sakshi Gopal from. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. The music is just. I can't believe how horrible it is. I can't believe how horrible that chanting is. I mean, it's got to be driving people away.
Plowing.
Yes.
And they got the sound of sitar, and George's hair is kind of flowing in the wind.
Yes.
It's very, very impressive. That's very touching. Because this is mid-60s when people were getting interested in Indian culture.
Yes.
Now it's really taken off. Vegetarianism, yoga, the idea of karma, reincarnation. So the Hare Krishna movement's been teaching this since the mid-60s, when it was just being taken up by the West. So
this guy is really trying to preach to this guy. He even though this guy is just there as a journalist, I'm going to go and I'm going to check out the Hare Krishnas. I'm going to see what's going on. This guy's working him. He's trying to convert. He's trying to get him. That's what they do. It doesn't matter, and that's why I'm saying, you run into these people. It doesn't matter if you're at the restaurant or you're in Venice Beach or wherever you are. You run into one of these guys, and they got their book, and they come up to you with their book, and this is what you got to listen to. This is what you're getting into. You're going to hear this whole thing about the 60s and Prabhupada and George Harrison and all of that. It's just... My dad told you to tell you it's a funeral service and nothing holy or sacred. What is? I don't know. This is supposed to be a chanting meditation retreat in the park. That's what he was going to. He said in the beginning it was he said it was a mantra and meditation in the park meeting. I go along to mantra and meditation in the park meeting. So it sounds like a funeral. It sounds like a funeral, but it's some kind of it's one of these fake, one of these scam yoga meditation things so they can spread their books. That's what it is. And this guy showed up with his camera, and this guy's trying to preach to him. This guy's like, I'm gonna preach to this guy. It's so funny.
In a sense, Prabhupada is a pioneer in many ways, giving people.
Prabhupada was a pioneer in many ways. Prabhupada was a pioneer in many ways.
Well, the ancient science of self-realization.
Ancient science. It's an ancient science. What a oxymoron. An ancient science. Okay.
Can you tell us how you started off? Obviously, you weren't a Krishna, but then you became one. So what is it that you were searching for, perhaps? What made you decide, this works for me?
Oh, well, I was an art student. Got up to all the things that art students do.
We're getting a free magical mystery story. We're getting a magical mystery story here. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, back to the magical mystery story.
And I became vegetarian. I thought there's more to life than generally is, meets the eye. There's something deeper going on. And I got serious about it. And finally I just realized I needed to find a teacher.
I got serious about it because I knew there was something else going on. So I got me a teacher.
I wasn't finding it in books. And I haven't met any of the books by Bhaktivedanta Swami.
Nothing fell from the sky. I was waiting for something to fall from the sky. I thought information was going to just fall, and it never did. So finally, I turned to the Swami. I had to turn to the Swami. Hey Queen, good to see you, man. You did a great job on that article. I didn't read it all, but I was talking about it. And man, I gotta hand it to you, man. You're really on the ball with that. I mean, you really take the bull by the horns and you just that's really good. So yeah, you did really good on that. So we got a magical mystery story here. This guy, He was waiting for the answer to life's mysteries to fall from the sky, and they didn't. So he ended up saying, I need to find somebody who can tell me what those answers are, because I'm waiting and it's not happening.
So I went looking for a teacher, for a guru, and within a couple of weeks I met Hare Krishna devotees. I thought, I'll give this a try. I was already vegetarian.
Who would have thought that would ever happen? I mean, that's a magical mystery story right there. He decided he needed a teacher, and lo and behold, who showed up? The Hare Krishna. They showed up right on time. They were right on time. Brahma fell and gave him the book. I know, he dropped it. Brahma was reading it, and it was like, oops, I dropped it. Where'd it go? And then it was like, and it whacked him in the head. It fell on his head. It's so stupid. I know. It's so funny. Is he in Scotland? Yeah, he's in. I think he's in England somewhere, because they were talking about Bhaktivedanta Manor. So I know. He doesn't know. He doesn't know about it. He has no idea. He has no idea. Otherwise, he should ask him about hey, how'd that guru lose his head? Did he really lose his head?
I used to chant Hare Krishna a little bit, just the mantra, and hearing it from the record. And that was it. Next day I moved in the temple.
Right, so you definitely found that something about it worked for you. I mean, was it...
He moved in the temple the next day. I was just saying how they do that. They just move in the next day. They just, but these guys lie, so it probably wasn't the next day. But anyway,
would you say that it was something which happened quickly, or it took you a while? Were you a little bit skeptical at any point?
No, I was open. Like I said already, I believed in reincarnation already.
Yeah.
I became a vegetarian already. The idea of karma wasn't foreign.
He was halfway there. He was already a vegetarian. He was already He already had liked the idea of karma. You know, he was halfway there. His magical mystery tour, his magical mystery story was almost there. I know, exactly. It's delusion. All right. I'll take delusion for 500, Alex. Yeah.
To me, as many people in the 60s, but here was a practical way to apply it. It wasn't just here.
It was a practical way to apply it. What's practical about shaving your head, putting on a bed sheet, and running around with a drum and cymbals and going, chant Hare Krishna? That's not practical. I don't know what you're talking about practical. What's practical is getting to work on time and punching the clock and picking up a check on Friday and beating the traffic home so you can go home and take your wife out to dinner, and buy her some flowers. That's practical. Not shaving your head and dressing like a 14th century Bengali homosexual running around chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That's not practical. I just don't know. He was following without following. I know he was following and he didn't even know it. I was like, hey, I was a devotee. I was a devotee and I didn't know it. I already shaved my head and I was wearing. I was already a vegetarian and I already believed in reincarnation and I'd already shaved my head and I had a little sika and I was wearing a devotee and I had neck beads on and I had tilak on my head. I didn't know why, but I did. I was doing all. I was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was doing everything. I was doing everything I was supposed to be doing, and I had no idea. I just had no idea. And I met the Hare Krishnas, and they said, "Hey, you should join us because you're just like us." It's so fucking stupid. Oh my God. Shaving your head is very KKK as well. I always wondered if he got that from the Nazis, the military. No, I think it has to do with Buddhism, like renouncing everything. Like you just cut your hair off because you're not, and it is, everybody looks the same. It's definitely like shaving the head in the military. But Buddhist monks shave their heads, and the Hindu monks shave their heads, and the little thing on the back is to distinguish between the Hindu and the monk, and the Buddhist, I guess. But it's funny. Like some of them do. It all depends on who if your guru has long hair and it's all dreaded up and all wagga, then that's what you do. You do what your guru does. If your guru has a big long beard and long hair, then that's what you do. You have a beard and long hair. If your guru's bald and has a sika and he's got no hair on his face, then you shave your head and you don't have any hair on your face. You do what your guru does. And so and that's how you can tell. That's how you can tell what, except this guy's supposed to have a shaved head and he don't have no shaved head. Buddhist nuns shave. Yeah, they're like, it's funny. If your guru's shaggy, say it wasn't me. Yeah.
Or talking about it, here I could actually apply it on a day-to-day, hour-by-hour basis.
Could you give an example of that? How this can be applied?
Well, in terms of myself, I moved to live in a temple where the program was to preach Krishna consciousness and practice it, like chanting on beads. We chant on our Hare Krishna, on our prayer beads. Living in, if you have an interest in something, whatever it happens to be, a lot of people join a club or hang out with people with the same interest.
So he asked him, he said, how do you practically do it? So he said, practically and do this in my life, day to day, hour to hour, minute by minute. I can practice this. Practical. It's practical. And so the guy says, how? And he gets into this. He gets into this thing about. He says, well, I chant on the beads, and I want to hear this again because it's.
In the 60s, but here was a practical way to apply it. It wasn't just here, or talking about it. Here I could actually apply it on a day-to-day, hour-by-hour basis.
Could you give an example of that? How this can be applied?
Well, living in a, well, in terms of myself, I moved to live in a temple where the program was to preach Krishna consciousness and practice it, like chanting on beads. We chant on a Hare Krishna on our prayer beads. Living in. I mean, if you have an interest in something, whatever it happens to be, a lot of people join a club or hang out with people with the same interests.
Yes.
So if you're serious about self-realization, if you're serious about awakening a God consciousness, it's good to live with people who've got the same goals.
He hasn't answered the question. He hasn't answered the question, how do you apply this practically in your day-to-day, hour-by-hour life? And he said, well, it's like some people have a hobby or they join and then they live and they have the same goals. And he's like, I don't know. He hasn't answered the question. He has not answered. And the singing is killing me. Yeah, it is funny how Knitting Cult Lady says, cults always control your appearance. Hair, underwear, weight size, your body weight, body size, all of that. She mentions that. So it's definitely part of the control. It's definitely one of those cylinders that has to be firing. You gotta have that uniform appearance. Uniform appearance. Like you can see these guys in the back, they all look the same. Yeah, and so many religions have the prayer beads or the rosary or the prayer beads or the praying, the constant praying, praying 3 times a day, 6 times a day, 9 times a day, facing east, facing west, whatever. It's and I don't know, those of us that have traveled to India or have traveled to travel around the world or whatever, that when you get on a plane and you're going to Asia, India or anywhere in Asia, because of the large Muslim population, the plane, when you're in the plane, there's a thing on the screen on your little entertainment thing that will tell you which way is east, so that if you want to pray, if you're a Muslim and you want to pray, and you're on a flight, and you got to pray because they got to face a certain way. So there's a little thing on the plane, and it's like a compass telling you which way to face, and that's culty. If you got if you go into that extreme. If you're going to that extreme to make sure that your prayer is heard, because you're not facing your prayer is not going to be heard if you're not facing the right direction. Because of course you got to face it. If I say my prayer this way and I was supposed to be facing this way, then the prayer is not going to work. Same thing. Same thing. The same thing with Hare Krishna. Like you gotta bow down and say your prayer. You can't just say. You got to say it out loud. You can't just think it. You got all these rules, all these things. Oh, no. Come on. Come on.
Did people in your family say, I don't understand this, you should think it through? Did you meet up with some skepticism? And how did you deal with it?
Well, I turned up back at the family home after having shaved my head and with orange robes. So my mother was a bit hysterical, but within a couple of years they came around saying, no, this isn't some crazy cult, this is a genuine article.
Yeah, there are people who say that though.
Yes, the people say...
No, it is. They were right, it is a crazy cult. They were wrong to say it wasn't a crazy cult. It is a crazy cult. There are people who say that, but let's see what he has to say.
All sorts of things about many things. My mother now.
Okay, so his answer, his rebuttal to people say that Hare Krishna is a cult, his rebuttal is, people say all sorts of things about many things. Well, that's true. Many people do say many things about many things, all sorts of things about many things. And one of the things that people say is that this is a cult. So what's your answer to that? We already know that we already know that many people say many things. The question to you is, what do you say about that? He knows it's a cult. He knows it.
Become a vegetarian, and she's 94.
Wow.
She became a vegetarian after 90.
Yeah.
So it's never too late. Never too late. Never.
No, you just don't want to address the cult statement. They don't want to address the cult statement. Working in Malaysia was awesome on Fridays. Why? Our Muslim friend had obligatory 2-hour lunch break for longer prayers. We also had 2-hour breaks. Equality. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I mean, perks, you know. Yeah, and he's just saying it nonchalantly. I know. I mean, you can see right through this. I mean, even with his sunglasses on, you can see right through this. Yeah, mom was hysterical. Poor mom. Yeah, he's not even. I don't believe him. I believe his mom was hysterical. They probably kicked him out of the house back in 1972. They're like, "What the fuck are you doing? Joining a cult? Get out of here!" You know. Cognitive dissonance on full display. Absolutely. Absolutely. He's totally.
It's never too late to change the patterns of our life. It's never too late to take up even vegetarianism.
It's never too late. It's never too late, dude.
Just walk away. There has been too much violence, too much pain. Just walk away, and there will be an end to the horror. Just walk away.
Never too late to take up God consciousness. But Srila Prabhupada was very specific when he called his society the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Some of the devotees, he had a small gathering. New York, just one little center in New York, just a dozen or more.
Because he traveled to the States on his own, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
They said, well, why not the International Society for God Consciousness? Prabhupada said, no. Well, God is common to all religions. Yes, same God. Whether we call God Yahweh or Adonai or Allah or Krishna, God has millions of names.
So you believe like Christians and Muslims, Hindus, all actually are worshipping the same God?
The same Lord?
No, actually, that's not true. Actually, it's not true. It's not the same God. Krishna is not the same God as Allah or Jesus or Yahweh. It's not. It's not the same God. It's just not. I mean, people like to say that because they want to unite and say, God, it's all one. It's one God, and God is one, and this philosophical, this higher philosophical idea. But when you really get down to religion, and Islam, and Judaism, and Christianity, and Hinduism, it's not the same God. I mean, it's nice to think like, oh, Allah. It's nice to think it's nice to think that it's a different name. It's a different name for the same God, but it's not. Really, it's not. If it was the same God, Israel and Iran would not be fighting right now. There'd be no war. They'd say, "Hey, it's the same God. You worship God, and it's the same God." No, it's not the same God. It's just not. It's just not. It's just not. I just started a war. I know. It's crazy. I mean, who are you trying to kid? I mean, we want to. It sounds nice. It sounds nice, and we want to think, but it's not. But it's not. It's just not. It's just not. All of these cults do tell people it's the same God, ISKCON does that too, and you can worship all gods. Just also praise, just praise me and pray all glories to the beast. The nighttime is the right night. This is so goofy. It's just he's bananas. He's bananas. I know, man. And it goes back to what Queen said earlier. This is the cognitive dissonance. It's like he knows it's not the same God. He knows that's just oh yeah, it's the same God, you know. That's bullshit. If they say it's the same God, then why preach your religion? Yeah, why? If it's the same God, then why should I join your guys? Why should I join? If it's the same God, then why should I join you guys and chant Hare Krishna? I'll just stay Mike and do what Mike does. You just said it's all the same. I mean, why should I? Why? You said it's all the same. Why should I? Giggity, giggity. Okay, guy. Hey, Duke. All right, man. Be careful. Be careful. Remember to rinse, okay? Remember to rinse. Really good. There's a co-leader in Sweden, an old fat white dude. Old fat white. He claims to be a gory. He is a gory. What do you call him? Like some kind of a yogi, and he claims that everything is the same: God's religion, moksha. Yeah, it's all the same. It's all one. Whatever. Yeah, I agree with you, Rafael. Why in Lord's name, this cameraman did not research even a slight bit prior to the interview. Confronting instead of being preached would have been more interesting. You know, I agree. Rafael, I'm gonna say the same thing. When I went down to the temple, I didn't really research. I was down there. I figured they'd tell me. I figured they'd tell me the truth. Like, hey, what's So I agree with you though. You know, I totally agree with you. Yeah, it's all the same, you know. Crowley, Jesus, Crowley. What's the difference, you know? It's all the same. Adenoids. Adenoids are like something in your throat or something. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you, man. Hare Krishna is straight up Taliban. And that's why I was saying you invite you invite Hare Krishnas to the UN. That's like inviting the Taliban. Hey, can we have the Taliban come in here? They're going to speak on women's rights. They have a lot to say about women's rights. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Okay, let me all right, here we go. Some more nonsense.
There's one Supreme Lord. No? Whatever name we address him by. There's only one sun in the sky. It's just gone in behind the cloud now. One sun, similarly, that one Supreme Father of everything and everyone. And different cultures have slightly different ways of approaching, and that different messengers of God come, and they preach according to time and circumstance, what people can handle. So there's sometimes differences in the teachings of the messengers, but sometimes even God himself sometimes comes. So 5,000 years ago, Krishna himself appeared on the planet, spoke Bhagavad Gita, performed amazing pastimes for 125 years, and that's all documented.
See, now, if this guy told me that today, you know, well, Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago in India. If somebody told me that today, you know, I would be like, you're out of your mind, dude. I would just be straight up being like, you're out of your mind.
In the translations of Bhaktivedanta Swami, from the 5,000-year-old Sanskrit writings.
It's the oldest polytheistic religion on earth that we know of.
It isn't polytheistic.
It isn't.
It is not polytheistic.
They're not 5,000 years old. They're just not 5,000 years old. Yeah, there's a lot of weird people have joined the Hare Krishnas. In the Hare Krishnas, you got ex-Marines, you've got police officers, you've got KKK guys, you've got Hell's Angels, you've got gang members, you've got drug runners, you've got all kinds of people have joined, and you run into these people, and they're just it's a cross section of the world. Okay, it's a cross section of the world. You get all kinds of people in there, all kinds. Just Harvard dumbass Goswami. You get college educated scientists in there, and then you got like these drug running Hell's Angels joining. I mean, you get everything. I mean, who knows what this fool was doing? Other than being a vegetarian and following the 4 regular principles, who knows what he was doing before he joined? He could have been a security guard. He could have been a who knows? That's just.
No.
So when I think of Hinduism,
yes.
I think of all the various gods, Ganesha and all that.
Yes, they're demigods.
Demigods.
In Christianity, you'd say they're angels.
Okay.
Even in Christianity, you have many different designations of angel. Cherubim, seraphim, the powers.
No!
I can't take anymore! I've had it with you!
I can't take it anymore. I've had it with you. Yeah, Hare Krishnas have to be criminals and survive on criminal money is what they are taught, since working at Walmart is bad, but cooking drugs and selling them is not. I know. I know. Working at Walmart is like the lowest thing you can do. So what you want to do is you want to move to Badger and cook meth in a trailer in the trailer park right off the road. It's right off that main road right there. You just pull in and it's right there. Off of like 138 or whatever it is, man. It's so stupid. And I remember when I was in Badger, I wasn't in Badger. I was in Badger. I didn't live there. But I remember when I was up there and we were at somebody's house and some people came in and they were like, yeah, we just came back. We were in Visalia, doing the pick. They were in Visalia like scamming people for money. And I was just like, man, I was just like, what is it? Because I was kind of new at that time, I didn't know all the ropes, let's just say that. I didn't know the ropes. So they came into Badger, into where we were, and they're like, yeah, we just got back from Visalia. We were down at wherever, and we were doing the pick, and we selling books and doing this and selling hats. I don't know what they were doing. And I just thought it was weird, like, why is everybody I meet, they're just out in the parking lots, just like scamming people for money, and that's all they do. There's like gypsies or something. But working at Walmart, you don't want to work at Walmart and just get a paycheck. They want to go out and just work the parking lots. Like that's not work. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, they're taught that an honest day's work is Maya. So if an honest day's work is Maya, then what's left? What's left? What's left to do, man? It's crazy. It's like what's left to do if what's left to do if everything is criminal and Maya? Then all I can do is the only thing left to do is just scam people like this guy. In other
words, they're servants of God within the material realms.
So it is monotheistic.
This is monotheistic. In fact, Vaishnavism, Krishna consciousness, is closer to Christianity, which is monotheistic, than many aspects of Hinduism.
Oh.
No, it's not. This dude's fucking, are you crazy? You're nuts. It's not. It is different from Christianity as possible. you've got this unbroken chain of pure devotee gurus that are like worship like God, and Jesus is God, and He's the only one that's worshipped. No, there's no guru worship in Christianity, and there's no becoming a 12-year-old girl and going to a cow planet and having sex with Jesus. There's not. This guy is a nut, but this is how they do it. They will say anything. They will say anything and everything to get you to take a book and join their goddamn cult. They'll tell you that Hare Krishna and Christianity, always they're like brothers, and Hare Krishna and Islam, that's like our cousin, and we're just like everything, and all the gods are the same. There's a bunch of bullshit. There's a bunch of bullshit. That's crazy. It's friggin' crazy. Exactly. Doing the pick, scamming people to give donations, lying about their charity cause. We're feeding hungry people in India. No, you're feeding you. You're the hungry person. You're the hungry person that you're feeding. We're feeding hungry kids. We're feeding hungry people. No, you're feeding yourself. You're feeding yourself. What the fuck are you talking about? It's so funny. It's so funny. We thank Sakshi Gopal for spraying his verbal diarrhea. I know. It's no different. He's no different than Gaura Hari. Do you see how these guys, they're all the same? We thought that Gaura Hari was extra crazy. No, they're all the fucking same. They're all the same. I've had it with this guy.
Hell! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
All right, so it's time to look. I gotta get to some at least one or two of these videos from Tim. He sent me some videos, and he's sending a lot. I got. Yeah, what the Hare Krishnas I met were not into working regular jobs. They never do. The only regular job they'll do is drive a taxi. Always doing scamming or odd jobs. Everything is for karmis. They want to be original because they're the chosen one. It's mental. It's mental. It's mental illness. So, still no trolls. Still got no trolls. What bad karma comes from working with well, you have to associate with non-devotees. So you have to be around people that are not devotees, and that's not good because then all their bad qualities kind of leach onto you. And like, they eat meat, so now you're working with people that eat meat, and you're working with people, you're working with people that are not holy. So they can't do that. Can't do that. Yeah, he's holding a book with a pedo on it. I know, but this isn't a cult. And they worship this guy. You worship this guy, right? Isn't that the guy with the 11-year-old wife? That's what I would have said. Hey, isn't that the guy with the 11-year-old wife? Isn't that guy wasn't he 22 years old when he had an 11-year-old wife? And then he would go right into, oh, that's Vedic culture. You don't understand Vedic culture. They did that back then. That was probably come from a different time. What different time? 1977? Okay, so I want to do a video some videos from Tim. Okay, some videos from Tim, and okay. Let's get to the first one here. I gotta get to this. Let me see what this is. I don't know what this is. Oh. Oh, this is interesting.
Muy bien, una joven peruana ha denunciado a un joven, ha señalado en realidad a un misionero, Hare Krishna, de ser su agresor sexual. Pero a ella se suman también señalamientos de ciudadanas extranjeras que dicen haber sufrido o haber sido víctimas de tocamientos indebidos por parte del ciudadano alemán Ulrich Harlan. Ulrich Harlan, fundador de la misión Brinda, de los Hare Krishna. Vamos a conocer más detalles de estos serios señalamientos en su contra.
Hey, there he is. It's Mariachi Maharaj.
Pienso que es un engañador.
La verdad es que yo siento, a mí me dio mucha vergüenza cuando pasan esas cosas. Entonces uno se queda helado sin reaccionar.
And I love preaching.
I mean, these guys just can't keep. They just can't keep their hands to themselves. You know, it's really seriously. They just can't. And this guy always creeped me out. I always thought this guy looked creepy. You know, he's like an ISKCON reject. He's like he left ISKCON and he went to either Narayan Maharaj or wherever and started his own thing. And I always thought he was creepy. I just always thought he looked creepy. He just gave me a weird creepy vibe. And the guy's a creep. Evidently, the guy's he's a real creep. Yeah, Paramadwiti Maharaj. I know this guy. Yeah, yeah, he's Nacho El Mariachi. Yeah, this guy. What a joke, man. You know. What a joke with these guys. Yeah, he has a creepy vibe. It's really, you know, let me go back to it just for a second. Let me go back to it for a second.
Morning, every night, I'm doing it for the last 45 years. It's wonderful. I'm not bored.
45 years. 45 years of pretending to be a guru. And that's what I'm saying, you know. You were faking it for 45 years and then you know you couldn't fake it anymore and you slipped up or you fell down or you broke your vows or whatever. But that's to me and to me that's just proof that you're full of shit. Because not only did you fall down, you didn't fall down with a piece of chocolate. You didn't fall down by eating a hamburger. You didn't fall down by buying a lot. You fell down by molesting some woman or some girl or some inappropriately touching somebody. That's just disgusting. I mean, that's disgusting for someone who's not a holy man. But for a holy man, I mean, for a holy man to do that, okay, that was creepy. Yeah, all these guys are creepy. All these guys are creepy. I swear, all these guys. Okay, let me see. What is this one? Okay, so I don't know. Is Tim with us today? I sure hope Tim's here. You know, did I see you in here, Tim? Yeah, there you are, Tim. So thanks for sending in these videos. Let's take another look at one of your videos, Tim. It says, this woman Gopa Nandini and her husband Brajendranath Brajendanandan, both Badger Gurukula authorities and teachers abandoned their underage child in India. That's what I'm saying, to do bhajan and for her to chant her rounds peacefully without a care in the world. She sent her child off to Premananda Das. The kid is now 35 years old.
But got tired of being a myth, so I built an app for men who scream into rivers after cold plunges.
That book behind her, that book up there of Prabhupada sitting there, I had that book. That's a rare book. Surah gave me that book. I got one of the first when it was right hot off the presses in L.A. at the BBT, and it was a pretty nice book. I believe it's his Back to Godhead magazines, all bound in a book. And every time I see these bookshelves with all these things on there, it reminds me of my bookshelf with all my books that I just said, fuck those books. Anyway, here we go. The Rasa Leela is the sex orgy that Krishna has with the gopis. That's what the Rasa Leela is, just for those of you that don't know. That's the sex orgy that Krishna has with the gopis.
Hell! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Jenna Morton. I was not accepted in that temple, Bhakta Bandha of New York. They only allowed brahmacharis and married people. I was discriminated there. That's where I lost my faith in the cult. Well, good for you, I guess. I mean, I want to say, I'm sorry to hear that, but good for you. I'm glad that that's what got you out. Whatever it takes to get you out. Whatever it takes to get you out. I'm glad that happened. Scary what brainwashing can do to a person. I know. Either this person's been in it her whole life, he abandoned her kid in Vrindavan so they can live in Badger and do whatever. It's just insanity. I know. Shut up. Shut up. I know.
Hell! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Yeah, you can preach, but you can only preach so much because you can't be a guru. You can't be a guru. Yeah, you have small brains. You can't be a guru, so you can just preach a little bit. Nothing big. Okay, no. Nothing big. I know. Mataji, please retire. Mataji, please. She can't retire. There's no Social Security. She can't retire. You got nothing to retire on. She got no Social Security. It's so funny. We have small brains. Yeah, you got small brains. What can you do? What can you do with your small brain? How can you do with your small brain? I don't know what to do with my small brain. My small brain. Another hot lips. Yeah, it's hot lips. Hot lips in another 20 years. That's another 20 years, man. Oh my, we're having fun. Oh, we're having fun. Let me see. Okay, so I got that one. What is this one? I think it's this guy again. Did we see this one already? I don't know. What difference does it make? Dad. What difference does it make, Dad?
Yeah, also it's really special. Like what I was saying is we're all the Gurudev kids, basically. Our Parichai. Parichai means what is your identification?
Why is this guy always got the little girls around? Here's another one with the little girls. He's always got the little girls around him.
So when Shiva tried to enter the rasa dance, even he had taken on the form of a gopi. Like we've taken on form of devotees. We wear neck beads, tilak, dress of devotees. But still, we...
So yeah, so here's another one. I can't. Thanks, Tim. Thanks for sending this in. So here he is talking about when Lord Shiva wanted to. So funny. So here he is talking to a bunch of little girls. I guess he's talking to some little kids. He's got a little girl there. He got a little girl over here, and she looks about marriage age. She looks about 12, 13, I guess. Or 11, 12. That's his wife. That's his wife. Give me a break. Give me a break. Give me a break. So this is the guy. That was his mother, right? That's his Mataji. That was his Mataji. Okay, so here's this guy again. He's talking about just so you know. Let me get over here. Just so you know, he's telling them the story. He's about to tell them the story about when Lord Shiva wanted to attend the orgy. Okay, so Krishna's having this orgy with the gopis. He's dancing. He's having sex with the gopis down by the river, and Lord Shiva wants to watch. He wants to watch or participate or whatever, right? He wants to watch. I think he wants to watch. He wants to peeping Tom. He's a voyeur. He wants to watch the rasa dance. So he goes, and I forget who it is. Somebody stops him and goes, "No, you can't go in there because you're a man, and only gopis are allowed in there. Only women, only gopis, only 12-year-old girls are allowed to go in there. You can't go in there." So Shiva. They tell him he goes and he takes a bath, I guess, in this Mansarovar. He takes this bath in this lake, in this kund, right, in this pond or whatever. And when he comes out, when he comes out of the pond, he's a gopi. And there's a temple in Vrindavan called Mahadev Gopishwar, and that temple is the deity or the Shiva. That's where he became a gopi. So Lord Shiva, he transgenders into a female gopi so he can go watch and participate in the orgy with Krishna. And this is the story that he's telling these little kids. He's telling them the story about Lord Shiva becoming a gopi, so he can watch the rasa dance.
Devotees, but still, we can't get entrance in beads, tilak, dress of devotees. But still, we can't get. Even he had taken on the form of a gopi, like we've taken on form of devotees. We were neck beads. Our Parichai. Parichai means what is your identification? So when Shiva tried to enter the rasa dance, even he had taken on the form of a gopi. Like we've taken on form of devotees. We wear neck beads, tilak, dress of devotees, but still we can't get entrance into the spiritual abode without proper identification. So that's why it's very important to be under the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. And we are all under the shelter of our most bona fide pure devotee, Srila Bhaktivedanta, Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev. That is our supreme fortune. You know, at the end of your life, say like, you know, something really scary happens. I'll give you an example.
Grooming these kids. Yeah, she looks she looks so uncomfortable. Yeah, she doesn't look happy. She looks like my daughter in that picture. She's looking at like, what are we doing here? It's Bengali pornography. That's exactly what it is. It's Bengali pornography. You hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what it is. It's white super Hindus discussing Bengali pornography. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Weird story time. It's weird story time with the little kids. It's transgendered story time with the little kids. I know. All of these guys is super white Hindu. White super Hindu. I gotta say it right. White super Hindu. He needs to stop being so nice to kids. I know he's preaching. He preaches pornography. I know. Last time we saw him, he was preaching about child marriage. He was teaching. He actually sat there and said that some unborn babies were being married. It was just too funny. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. What else we got from Tim? Tim doing the work, man. Tim doing the work, putting in the hours. Okay, it says here. Oh. It says here that in the video above, Paramadwiti Swami, who has open cases with the Colombian and Peruvian governments regarding sexual abuse, is being paraded and worshipped. Yeah, there you go. That's what they do. That's what they do. They worship their abusers and their molesters.
Jaya Sada Sangha Deha He Amare Jaya Sada Sangha Deha He Amare.
Absolutely. Mormons baptize the dead. Hare Krishnas marry the unborn. Absolutely, man. You hit the nail on the head. That's exactly. You're right. You're right about that. This is his. Okay, I thought I got the wrong video, man. I'm glad you said that. I was like, wait a minute, did I get the wrong? They all look so miserable. They all look so miserable. They're like, not again. Oh man, we gotta do this again. And the camera's on, us. Oh man.
Hey Gurudev.
I got another one here.
I can dance. Boom, 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 You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay! I can dance. Boom, 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 You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay!
You do it, then you'll know. You sing it with me. Boom, boom, boom.
I can dance. Boom, 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 You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay!
Boom, 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 yay! You do it, then you'll know. You do.
বসেছি সঙ্গে রায়াসে বসেছি সঙ্গে রায়াসে ছয় শত সঙ্গ বসেছি সঙ্গে ওহে বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর
Yeah, I know. It's
I can dance. Boom, 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 You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay. I can dance. Boom, 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 You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay.
Oh man, you're so right. You're so right. Was it Tim? Where is it? They think they're the chosen ones beyond belief. They're no different. They're no different than Gora Hari. God damn it! They're no different. They're no different than this Gora Hari. They all think that they're so holy, and they got the truth, and they know the stories. And if you listen to me, you're gonna be giggling and laughing and transcendental bliss, and you're gonna be chanting, and you're gonna be doing.
I can dance. Boom, 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 You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay.
Sing it with me, then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay. That's these guys, man. You do it, then you'll know. You do it, then you'll know. This is too goofy, man. It's so funny.
I can dance. Boom, 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 You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay.
You gotta sing it with me, and then you'll know. I know they're all gonna bow down to a man who has open cases of women abuse, is sexual abuse. The guy's a predator. The guy. He ain't no holy man. He never was a holy man. It's just boom, boom, boom. It's so funny, man. It's so funny. Let me see what we got here. Let me see what we got here. I gotta hear that again.
I can dance. Boom, 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 You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay.
Sing it with me, and then you'll know. Sing it with me, and then you'll know. Okay. All right. All right. Let me get back. Let's look at. What did he say? Okay. What's this one? This is from Rafal. I'm putting this one in.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
I can dance. Boom, 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 Sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay. I can dance. Boom, 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 Sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Sing it with me. Boom, 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 boom. That's so funny. That is so funny. Swami is such a funny word to me. Oh, man. It's so funny, man. It's so funny. They were all of them, all in one place, man. You sign up for that retreat, had them all. You had all the scammers in one spot right there in Orlando, Florida, man. You had them all. You had Bicycle DOS. You had Book Beggar. You had them all, man. It's so funny. All right, man. I'm having so much fun here. Let's see what else we got. Oh, I gotta check this one out. What is this? Oh, I think we've seen this. I don't know. Maybe. No, here we go.
To read so many other scholars' books. I have to read, even in our past tradition, in different texts, right from the directly from the Sanskrit and so on. But when I read anything other than Prabhupada's books, it's sort of like when you come by different bodies of water.
This guy, it really freaks me out. This guy really freaks me out, man. He his mannerisms and his body language, his whole thing. He's really creepy. He's really creepy, and he's so into this Prabhupada, and he thinks he's this scholar, he thinks he's this genius doctor. He's Professor Graham Schweig, and he's nothing but a friggin' Hare Krishna wacko. That's all he is. He's a Hare Krishna wacko. But I'm telling you, they go to college, they get a degree, and they think they're friggin' Einstein or something. It's hilarious. Okay.
Some water seems a little murky. You might put your hands in it just to wash your hands, but there's some bodies of water
He's
that
a clown.
Pure, and you just dive in. Prabhupada's books are like that for me. I know they're like that for everyone here. That there is the openness and total trust in Prabhupada's books. With other books, you go in with a certain measure of caution and trepidation.
He's talking about these books that are full of racism and sexism and child marriage and pedophilia and who knows what else is on the list? I mean, what else is on the list? I mean, the racism, the sexism, the pedophilia, the child marriage. I mean, the misogyny, just, and this guy's talking about like, he's talking about these books like they're
with a certain measure of caution and trepidation sometimes when you read other people's stuff. Now, in my save, I have to do that. I have to read other people's stuff, but it's not the same as reading Prabhupada's words. As both you and Yashodanandaji were saying, that Prabhupada's words are so potent.
And we've been, for like the last week or so, we've really been listening to like Gaur Hari talk. We've been reading from the Veda base. We've been listening to Prabhupada talk and whatever. And we've all come to the conclusion that Prabhupada, that there's nothing there, that it's so empty. That Prabhupada's books and his teachings are just so empty and so nothing there. And to hear this guy talk about how great they are, it just shows you how this brainwashing, this cult brainwashing can work. Even on this professor guy who went to college, he's got all these degrees, he's got diplomas on his wall. He's this educated guy. but he's fucking dumb as a stump. If he's reading Prabhupada's books and he thinks that these books has got anything of value in there, you gotta be. I mean, we all did. So I'm not. I'm. I did too. I thought these books were the answer to life's problems. That these books were gonna save the world and bring world peace and do all this stuff. I believed it. I believed it. But now when I read it and I see that, I just can't understand how I could have ever thought that. These books are so empty. And they're just vapid, empty, nothing. There's just nothing in there except circular arguments that go nowhere. It truly blows my mind. And that really shows you the power of a cult and the power of this brainwashing. We laugh and joke about it, and I play my sounds and I do my thing and I do my
dance. You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Yay!
And we have
Hell,
fun.
shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
But this cult brainwashing bullshit is real, and it fucks up people's minds. And this cult destroys people's lives. It sucks your life right out. It really does. It's horrible. And we laugh and joke and we have fun and everything, but it is a really serious thing. Look at this guy. This guy's life is. He's worshiping this friggin' pedophile's books, and he's promoting child marriage, and he probably doesn't even know it because he's so wrapped up in this cult. Just like Gora Hari. He thinks we're in Maya. He can't comprehend that it's a cult and that we left the cult and they're in the cult. And we're normal people now, and they're not normal people. And we were not normal people, but now they can't. That simple thing eludes them because of the brainwashing of this. Because of the brainwashing, it's insidious. It's sinister. It's evil. It fucks up so many people's minds. I know. Another white super Hindu yeah, and this guy, he's Professor Delusion. He's Professor Delusion. I know. Look at it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
That they bring in the divine world to us. But we also know the words are potent. That look how damaging and destructive words can be.
Oh, it's how ironic that you're saying that, because the words destroyed your life. You wake up, dude. You have like no self-awareness. It's hilarious.
The internet bullying among teenagers, for example, or young adults, caused some teenagers or young adults to commit suicide.
Oh, how about all the suicides that happened because of Prabhupada's goddamn Gurukula? How about that? You want to talk about suicide? You bring up suicide, you fucker? Let's talk about all the suicides that were caused by Prabhupada's school and him putting unqualified people in as teachers. People that he thought that he could just and make them pure devotees, and they were going to be, you're an idiot. How dare you bring up suicide? How dare you bring up suicide? You got enough suicide in your own cult. You want to talk about suicide? Let's talk about the suicides in your own cult. Professor Schweig. Fucking A. You want to talk about suicides? That's how dumb these people are. And when I say dumb, I really mean dumb. They're Dumb and Dumber. This guy's Dumb and Dumber in one person. He's Dumb and Dumber, but it's just one guy. That's how stupid these people are. Hri Dayananda goes to Harvard, doesn't know he's in a cult. How the fuck can you go to Harvard and not know you're in a cult? Knitting Cult Lady went to Harvard. She figured it out. I mean, it's not that hard. It is. It's, what does it say? It says University Harvardenia. That's what it says. In like some weird script. Dummies, come to Mike's Live and learn your ABCs. Yeah, I know. That's what it is. They got to learn they're in a cult. They got to learn they're in a cult first. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Education doesn't equal common sense, intellect. It does. In fact, the Harvard dumbass Goswami, he made a comment. He was talking to his people. He was giving a lecture, and he made a comment that when he was in college, when he was at Harvard, and he was like in a physics class. He was like in a physics class or some kind of I think it was like some kind of physics, and it was like the first day, and they asked him the question. The question was, what is energy, or something like that. What is energy? And so Harvard dumbass Goswami, because he's a guru and he thinks he's so smart, he's the smartest guy in the class, right? He's a guru. He's Hri Dayananda. So he writes down, energy it comes from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he said he turned that in, and he got an F, a big F on his thing, and he laughs, and he's using it as an example to say, this college learning, higher education, it doesn't. They don't really know. They don't really know what they're talking about. That Hare Krishnas that we know, because I'm a guru and we're Hare Krishnas. We know from Prabhupada that energy is emanating from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and that just shows you. And then he said how he would just answer the questions so that he could pass the test, right? He would write his paper as if he would just write the paper to get the grade, so he could get his degree. He didn't care about what he was learning. In fact, he wasn't learning anything. He was just taking the tests and answering and writing the papers so he could get his degree. It didn't matter what they were teaching him, and he admits that. And that's what these people do. That's what this guy does. They go to Harvard, they go and they learn whatever they're going to learn, but they don't learn it. They just do what they need to do so he can get his thing and hang it on the wall, and it says, I went to Harvard. And they just remain as dumb as they were before they went it. That's why I say Harvard dumbass Goswami, he's the only guy that goes to Harvard and comes out dumber than he went in. Because now he's lost the money that he paid to go to school and he didn't learn anything. So now he's even dumber than he went in, because before he went in, at least he had the money. Now he came out and he got no education, no money. The fucking idiot. I mean, how do you go to Harvard and you can't figure it out? Greek philosophy has some influence in the framing of the chief doctrines, but I know what you speak. You will have to study a lot more to understand why I believe what I believe. I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but that's good. I'm glad you guys are having a conversation. Yeah, there's a lot of so-called PhD freaks Absolutely. And freak is the right word. Freak is the right word because I mean, look at this guy. I mean, how do you go to Harvard and you come out and you think there's a demon head eating the moon, or there's a space guy floating between planets playing a guitar? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. But they do. They compartmentalize. They put some information in this side, and they put some information in this side. The cult lady said it's like Christmas tree decorations in a box, and all the little decorations are separated. They got their own little place so that they don't touch each other. They don't bang around and touch. So it's like that. We put some information over here, and then we put some information over here, and we put some information, and that information never touches. It stays independent, and I can think this thought independent of the other thought, and so all these different thoughts are in their head. It's just, I know, it's a great pause face, right? His anus mouth. That's his anus mouth. Goranga Das. Yeah, these guys, there's so many of them, but I'm telling you, that's exactly what they're doing. They're just going to college so they can get their, so they can get their degree, and then, oh no, yeah, I no problem, man. I'm serious. I'm glad you're having a conversation. This is a great meeting place for all of us. I'm not giving you a hard time at all. Absolutely not. But I'm about to end it here because it's like 2.5 hours here. Let me do one more video. Let me get you one more video. Okay, let's see. I feel like doing one more. But this guy was a good one to go out on, but I'm gonna do one more. Let's see what we got. Let's see, what's this one? Oh no. I'm not gonna do this one. I gotta do something else. Hold on. Oh, here we go. We'll go out with a bang. We'll go out with a bang. Let's see. What do we got here? Oh, we got all of them. We got all of them here. Let me see. I missed it. What happened? Who's... I'm not sure who this guy is. Is that Naranjan? I don't know who that guy. I can't recognize that guy. That's oh, what's his name? Briga Govinda, I think. Briga Govinda, maybe. He's a big time scammer. I'm not sure his name. Swimmer Pod. There we got Swimmer Pod. Swimming up, Swimmer Pod. And of course, Swimmer Pod's brother, Indrayumna Swami, the little girl Swami. We got little girl Swami. We got a whole, just a. This is what they do. This is what these guys do. This is what these fuckers do all day long. That's all they do. They just hang out. They just hang out and get worshipped. They get served lunch. People wash their clothes. And they hang out. They eat some prasadam. They go get some flowers put around their neck. Get their feet washed. Some flowers are thrown at them. They get some incense are waved at them. You know, and they go. This fucking. It makes me sick. It makes me sick that these guys get treated like this while women are being abused, little girls are being abused, women are being abused, everybody's getting trauma. This friggin' cult, it takes its toll on everyone. It takes its toll on everyone. Meanwhile, these guys sitting around partying it up. Partying it up.
I can dance. Boom, 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 You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay.
Boom, 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 yay. That's what I say. That's what I say. I know, it is disgusting. It is, it's disgusting. When you think of all the horror, when you think of all the horror, and that these guys just sit around all day, this is their life. Meanwhile, kids are being abused, women are being abused.
Just walk away. There has been too much violence, too much pain. Just walk away, and there will be an end to the horror. Just walk away.
You know, yeah, absolutely. They're smiling away. You know, it's good to be the king. It's good to be the king, you know? These men are worshipped, and women are and children are abused. And you know who's worshiping them? Women and children. Women and children are worshiping these guys. It's freaking disgusting. There was another chair there for Bhakti Vidyapurna, but he got excommunicated in a meantime. Chair is empty now. Oh, really? Let me take another look. All right. I got it. Because I like it so much, I don't play it one more time.
I can dance. Boom, 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 You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay.
That's what I think about now. When I see these guys dancing or chanting, whenever I see them chanting or dancing, that's all I can think about is this.
I can dance. Boom, 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 You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay.
Oh, this is too funny. So, everybody, I want to thank everybody for joining in tonight. It's been so much fun with all my new sounds. I got all my new.
Hell! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
And so I want to thank everybody for making it so much fun. I have so much fun with you guys. AJ and Ghana and Jeff and AJ again and Fake Human, of course. Fake Human. It's not the same when without Fake Human.
Just walk away. There has been too much violence, too much pain. Just walk away, and there will be an end to the horror. Just walk away.
And Rafal Ghana 6781, Queen of Karma. Thanks for joining in today, Queen of Karma, and thanks for making that great article. I can't tell you how great that is and how wonderful, how happy that makes all of us, and that makes us all so happy to see something like that. I can't thank you enough for that. And Fake Human, of course, Eliana, my moderator. Thank you so much for being here. And Jeff, I think I thanked you, and Jeff and Tim with all the videos. Thanks for the videos, Tim. And who else we got in here? We got anybody else? Dahlia Roberts, you were here earlier. And Eliana's dad. 2 thumbs up for Eliana's dad. I hope everything's going great for you. If I missed anybody's name, please I'll give you a shout out twice next time. And so everybody, it's just been so much fun with you. It's just I get to laugh and joke around, and that's what I like to do. That's probably the number one thing I like to do is just laugh and joke and have fun and be funny and do that. And when you guys are here and we're doing this, I really, I can't ask for anything else. I just love it. I love making jokes and having fun. And if I can make jokes and may have fun at the expense of this goddamn cult, that makes it even better. So thanks for joining with me tonight. It's been so much fun. I want to thank you, and I want to wish everybody. A great evening, a great day, a great morning, great afternoon, great whenever. And if you're hungry, have a great brunch. And I want you all to have some great luck today. So go buy a lottery ticket because Mike said that you're going to be lucky. And you have some great luck today. And please stay out of a cult. Don't get sucked in with a book. So stay out of a cult. And everybody, for all you new people out there watching, because there's a lot of people watching tonight, and that's a great thing. I'm glad you guys are learning something. I hope you're learning something. And you also, this is when you get to see me when I was a Hare Krishna a long time ago. Well, thanks, everybody, and see you next time.